If you want to see my progress on my Pan That palette for 2019, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and it is this time again. It is about a month since I updated you on my Pan That palette, and I thought it was time to give you another update. I am pleased with my progress, but I did not do what I thought I was going to do, which was to finish up Tonal and to have Pan in another shadow in this palette. But I am really close. So you will definitely see those two things happen in the next video. But I still think I have reasonable progress and would like to update you anyway. So we are toward the end of September. The last update was toward the beginning of September, so about a month's worth of time. And here is the palette. Now I will have, as I usually do, some very up close pictures for you with the light kind of shining sideways, because there is some depth to these pans that I don't think is going to show up just by looking at it as I'm talking about the palette. What I would like to point out is that I had transferred over last time Tonal to this pan, and it covered most of the pan base. And now it is, I don't know if you're going to see it just as I'm describing it, sorry about the ring light, there is quite a lot gone. I'm looking at it now and I'd say there's a third of what there was. It was all the way down to the end here when I repressed it, and it used to be in this pan here. I'm pretty happy with the progress. It's been the shade I've been using, the shadow I've been using to set my primer, my eye primer most of the time, and I think I've been really working at it quite diligently, even though this would be the easiest color to use to set my primer. This one's a bit more rosy, and so it's not quite, a little bit of a peach look to it, not rose. And so it's a little bit more challenging to use it as to set my eye primer, but obviously other colors go on top, so it's not that big of a deal. It's when I start an eye makeup look and I'm going, okay, gotta cover that up because it's not what I'm after. But I always set my primer, so I might as well set it with Tonal, which is a color that I'm getting kind of tired of because I've used so much, so it's not a bad thing to use that kind of a shadow as a base. And next up, I've been really leaving this one alone. This one is Desert because I'm really focusing on this one, and my second default is this one, so it's been getting neglected more than I thought it would. But I have been using the deeper shades a lot. So Suede is one where I am really using a lot of it in the crease and outer lid, and there is a substantial amount of deep groove into it, not groove, but dip into it because I'm really using it. And this is the one that I was very shocked that I did not hit pan on, because even though I'm just putting my brush in, I am not digging evenly to the sides, and I'm not digging in. I'm just putting my brush in as I do my makeup without really paying that much attention to where I'm putting the brush, because I've said it before, I don't tunnel into a shadow, I just use a shadow. But based on the depth that I can see, you know, it might happen that tomorrow I hit pan. It is what it is. And then the other one that I'm really impressed with, that I use mostly for liner and sometimes for outer lid, is this one, Sumatra. And it has a lot of wear showing, and I'm really surprised that I actually made that much progress in that particular shadow, and I would not be surprised that that one starts looking similar to Suede, where I'm going to be more and more confident that there's going to be pan sooner than later, just because I'm using it a lot. I'm just using it a lot. So these colors out of the colorful eyeshadows are really the winners. I do go into Blackberry reasonably often, but these two are really the ones that, without even thinking, I'm not even being intentional or strategic about it, I I just go into those. They just seem to work for my skin tone, for most of my eye looks, and I know, I say it every time, but I know I'm going to get to these cooler tones. I'm just right now focusing on the warmer side. There is nothing in this palette that I really don't like. Really, there's nothing in this palette that I really don't like, and so I'm really enjoying using it. I've just chosen to go after really 3 or 4 pans for the most part. I guess a total of 5 pans that I'm going into regularly, so less than half the palette at this point. I have a feeling I'm going to get into the cooler tones when I need them, and I do have some cooler eyeshadows I'm supposed to be using for round 7 of the palette roulette. If you haven't seen that series, you may want to take a look at the latest one. Anyway, I'm really happy about it. I'm really looking forward to showing you the progress pictures. I think you can see a lot more detail there, but I do want to share with you the weight changes. So here we go. The last time, which you'll see in the pictures, I was at 186.98 grams, so almost 187. And today I'm at 186.62. So that is a difference of 36 grams, or just over a third of a pan. So a third of a pan in 1 month's time, when I am using this not to do complete looks most of the time. Most of the time I'm using this as a complementary palette to 1 or more other palettes that I'm using. So to use a third of a shadow based on my usage, I'm pretty happy with that. And if I continue to do that still for 3 more months, I will have finished up the equivalent of another pan. So I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm happy with this palette, and I'm happy with my progress. And I think that with having worn down a number of shadows, I'm going to just keep seeing a lot more pan as I go on. And I'm looking forward to finishing Tonal for a couple of reasons. Not only do I want to have another color finished, but I really want to free up that big pan for the next time I have significant pan in another color, so I can transfer it again to the bigger pan, and I'm not damaging my brushes by trying to go into the corners of a smaller pan. I've talked about that before, but that's definitely my preference. I've talked enough. Let's take a look at the progress pictures, and I'll see you in a bit. That's it for progress pictures. I hope you enjoyed the update. I do look forward to reporting back at the end of October. Hopefully it won't be a scary update. Haha. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.